Imagine a moment when your body and mind move together in perfect harmony, when each step, each breath, becomes not just motion but medicine. In the quiet rhythm of our lives, there exist simple movements that quietly, almost imperceptibly, guide our blood sugar toward balance without placing undue strain on the heart. It is here, in this delicate interplay between energy and ease, that the body demonstrates its remarkable capacity for self-regulation. Consider walking, not as a mundane routine but as a gentle dialogue with gravity and blood flow. Each step signals cells to absorb glucose, to work in partnership with insulin, and to transform fuel into vitality. It requires nothing extraordinary, just the deliberate choice to place one foot in front of the other, and yet its effects ripple through our cardiovascular system, quietly harmonizing blood sugar levels. Then there is stationary cycling, a motion as circular as the cycles of life itself. Pedaling softly, at a pace that honors the heartbeat rather than accelerates it, invites the muscles to communicate with the pancreas and liver. These organs, in response, orchestrate a nuanced symphony of glucose uptake, all while the heart maintains a steady, confident rhythm. Seated resistance exercises offer another form of quiet power. Lifting light weights or using elastic bands while seated seems almost meditative, yet beneath the surface, every fiber of muscle engages, every mitochondrion hums with energy conversion, and the body, almost imperceptibly, becomes more efficient at handling sugar. There is elegance in this subtle strength, a reminder that even restrained movement can yield profound biochemical change. Water-based exercises take this philosophy a step further, buoyed literally by the medium in which they occur. Swimming or gentle aqua aerobics reduce impact on joints and heart alike, while promoting glucose regulation through rhythmic muscle contraction. Each stroke, each kick, becomes a conversation between resistance, flow, and metabolic balance, a living example of how physics and physiology meet in service of health. Finally, mindful stretching or yoga-based flow emphasizes controlled motion and breath. Here, the body learns to lower stress hormones, which in turn influences insulin sensitivity. The gentle tension and release of muscles, coordinated with attentive breathing, reminds us that blood sugar regulation is not only about calories burned or muscles moved, but about the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the quiet chemistry of well-being working in tandem. These 5 movements, distinct yet interconnected, offer a path to balance, a path that respects the heart, honors the body's natural intelligence, and demonstrates that science and self-care are not separate pursuits, but convergent reflections of curiosity and compassion. In each gesture, whether the simple placement of a foot, the circular pedal of a bike, the tension of a band, the push of water, or the elongation of a stretch, we witness the quiet art of biological resilience unfolding in real time. Walking is often overlooked in a world that glorifies high-intensity workouts and elaborate gym routines. Yet it remains one of the most profound tools for regulating blood sugar, especially for those who need to protect their heart. Consider the body as a network of silent conversations, where every cell communicates its needs through chemical messengers and energy signals. When we walk, each step is not merely a mechanical act, but a signal that awakens these cellular dialogues. Muscles contract rhythmically, not in bursts of strain, but in a steady cadence that encourages glucose to leave the bloodstream and enter the cells where it is transformed into energy. This process is subtle and almost imperceptible, yet it has a cascading effect on the body's metabolic equilibrium. The simplicity of walking belies the sophistication of the biochemical orchestration it initiates. As the feet strike the ground, proprioceptors send information to the brain, which integrates balance, posture, and movement into a seamless flow. This neural activity is not trivial. It subtly stimulates insulin sensitivity, allowing the hormone to function more effectively in ushering glucose into muscle tissue. Each muscle fiber activated contributes to the uptake of sugar, and over time, these small acts accumulate into measurable improvements in blood glucose levels. Walking also engages the cardiovascular system in a manner that is gentle but profoundly influential. Unlike high-intensity training, which dramatically spikes heart rate and blood pressure, walking maintains a moderate level of cardiovascular stress that encourages circulation without overwhelming the heart. Arteries respond to this steady flow with increased elasticity, and the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, produces nitric oxide, a molecule that not only supports vascular health, but also indirectly influences insulin activity. This demonstrates how a seemingly ordinary movement can ripple through multiple systems, connecting muscular activity, vascular function, and endocrine signaling into a harmonious interplay. Furthermore, walking outdoors introduces environmental variables that enhance its effects. Sunlight exposure stimulates vitamin D production, which has been linked in studies to improved glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity. Fresh air, gentle slopes, and varying terrain all introduce challenges that prompt the nervous system and muscles to adapt subtly, improving balance, proprioception, and metabolic efficiency without the need for extreme exertion. Another remarkable aspect of walking is its impact on the autonomic nervous system, the system responsible for regulating involuntary bodily functions including heart rate, digestion, and hormonal release. Regular, moderate-paced walking has been shown to shift the balance toward parasympathetic dominance, the rest and digest state, which in turn lowers stress hormones such as cortisol. Cortisol, when chronically elevated, interferes with insulin sensitivity and can contribute to elevated blood sugar levels. By promoting relaxation and rhythmic breathing during walking, the body creates an internal environment more conducive to glucose regulation. This means that the benefits of walking extend beyond muscle contractions and cardiovascular effects. They penetrate into the realm of hormonal balance and mental calm, highlighting how movement and mind are intricately connected in maintaining metabolic health. Walking is also profoundly adaptable. It requires no specialized equipment, can be done almost anywhere, and can be adjusted in intensity to suit individual health conditions. For someone with limited mobility or early-stage cardiovascular concerns, a gentle 10-minute walk after meals may already begin to lower postprandial glucose peaks. For others, slightly longer walks with a brisker pace can enhance the effect, yet still remain within a heart-friendly zone. The beauty of walking lies in this versatility, allowing it to become a lifelong habit rather than a short-term intervention. Its effects are cumulative. Repeated practice over days, weeks, and months creates a rhythm of metabolic regulation that is both sustainable and gentle. The act of walking after meals in particular is a strategic approach grounded in science. After food intake, blood sugar naturally rises, prompting the pancreas to release insulin. Walking during this window enhances glucose uptake in active muscles, effectively flattening the peaks that can be damaging over time. This simple timing strategy amplifies the physiological benefits without adding stress to the cardiovascular system. Equally important is the psychological and philosophical dimension of walking. It invites presence, awareness, and reflection, offering a form of movement meditation that encourages mindfulness of the body's responses. Paying attention to each footfall, each inhale and exhale, fosters a deeper understanding of one's own physical state, including subtle cues such as fatigue, tension, or ease of motion. This conscious engagement enhances adherence, as walking becomes not a chore but a meaningful interaction with one's own body. The mind-body feedback loop established during walking is itself a form of metabolic support. reinforcing behaviors that promote balance in glucose regulation and overall health. In essence, walking represents a convergence of science and simplicity. It demonstrates that the most effective interventions are not always those that strain the body to its limits, but those that respect its innate intelligence, its capacity to respond to gentle, consistent signals. Every step embodies a complex interplay of muscles, nerves, hormones, and vessels, all working quietly to bring harmony to blood sugar levels. It is in this slow, intentional motion that the body reveals its resilience, its capacity for self-regulation, and the profound wisdom that even modest, thoughtful movement can sustain health and vitality over a lifetime. Stationary cycling is often underestimated as a gentle form of exercise, yet beneath its apparent simplicity lies a profound capacity to regulate blood sugar while respecting the heart's limits. Unlike outdoor cycling, where terrain, traffic, and weather introduce unpredictable variables, the stationary bike provides a controlled environment, allowing the body to focus on movement and metabolic efficiency rather than reactive adjustments. The circular motion of pedaling engages the large muscle groups of the legs, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves in a continuous, low-impact rhythm that stimulates glucose uptake at the cellular level. As these muscles contract repeatedly, they signal the mitochondria within each cell to increase energy production, drawing glucose from the bloodstream with remarkable efficiency. Unlike high-intensity sprints that stress the cardiovascular system and elevate cortisol, stationary cycling allows for a steady-state exertion in which blood sugar is reduced gradually and safely, demonstrating how moderate-intensity activity can harmonize metabolic function without imposing undue strain on the heart. One of the most fascinating aspects of stationary cycling is its ability to activate muscle fibers in a sustained, consistent pattern. As the legs push and pull against the pedals, type I slow twitch fibers dominate the work, promoting endurance, fat oxidation, and glucose utilization. These fibers are particularly receptive to insulin signaling, and their repeated engagement over time enhances insulin sensitivity, creating a physiological environment in which glucose is more effectively absorbed and stored as energy rather than circulating in the bloodstream. The rhythmic nature of pedaling also has a profound influence on the nervous system. With each rotation, sensory feedback travels from the lower limbs to the spinal cord and brain, coordinating balance, motor control, and proprioception in a seamless loop. This continuous neural communication not only improves physical coordination, but subtly influences autonomic functions, promoting parasympathetic activation that reduces stress hormones and supports more stable blood sugar regulation. Another remarkable dimension of stationary cycling is its cardiovascular impact. Unlike abrupt, high-intensity exercises that cause rapid fluctuations in heart rate and blood pressure, cycling at a controlled pace maintains the heart in a moderate, steady state. This encourages efficient circulation without overtaxing the myocardium or vascular system, allowing oxygen and nutrients to reach tissues optimally. Blood vessels respond to this consistent flow by improving elasticity and nitric oxide production, both of which are crucial for cardiovascular health and indirectly support metabolic function. The heart and muscles work in concert, not in conflict, demonstrating how exercise can be both effective and gentle. Over time, this low-impact, rhythmical activity enhances overall cardiovascular resilience, supporting the body's capacity to handle glucose and insulin more effectively, while reducing the risk of complications associated with diabetes and cardiovascular strain. The stationary bike also offers the advantage of precise control over resistance and duration, allowing individuals to tailor their workouts to personal needs and limitations. A slightly increased resistance challenges the muscles without dramatically increasing heart rate, while longer periods of consistent pedaling enhance glucose uptake in a gradual, sustainable manner. This adaptability makes stationary cycling particularly suitable for those with heart concerns, joint issues, or mobility limitations, because it provides all the benefits of aerobic activity without the jarring impact of running or jumping. It is not the intensity alone, but the continuity of movement that maximizes metabolic benefit. Even short bouts of 5 to 10 minutes, when performed consistently after meals, can help blunt postprandial glucose spikes, providing a powerful, accessible tool for daily regulation of blood sugar. In addition to the physiological effects, stationary cycling engages the mind in subtle ways that support metabolic health. The repetitive motion, coupled with controlled breathing, encourages a meditative state, reducing psychological stress and enhancing mindfulness. Stress has a well-documented impact on glucose metabolism. Elevated cortisol and adrenaline can impair insulin function and exacerbate hypoglycemia. By promoting calm, focused movement, stationary cycling addresses both the physical and hormonal contributors to blood sugar regulation. This intersection of mental and physical engagement highlights a fundamental principle: movement is most effective when it engages the whole organism, muscles, heart, nervous system, and mind in a coordinated effort toward balance. Moreover, stationary cycling embodies a form of exercise that aligns with the concept of energy efficiency in human biology. It allows the muscles to work continuously, engaging the body's metabolic machinery in a steady, predictable pattern. The rhythmic contraction of large muscle groups stimulates glucose transporters in muscle cells, facilitating sugar absorption in a manner that does not trigger stress responses or cardiovascular strain. Each pedal stroke becomes a quiet signal to the body, reinforcing insulin sensitivity, encouraging nutrient utilization, and supporting the body's intrinsic capacity for self-regulation. Unlike high-intensity training, which can sometimes overwhelm the system, stationary cycling provides a gentle but persistent nudge toward metabolic equilibrium. In essence, stationary cycling is not merely a mechanical activity, it is a carefully orchestrated dialogue between the muscles, heart, blood vessels, nerves, and endocrine system. Each rotation of the pedals, each controlled breath, each measured increase in resistance contributes to an intricate cascade of physiological adjustments that culminate in improved glucose handling, enhanced cardiovascular function, and reduced strain on the heart. It exemplifies how movement, when applied with attention and consistency, can become a tool for harmonizing multiple bodily systems, demonstrating that effective exercise does not require extremes, but a deep understanding of how the body responds to rhythm, repetition, and gentle challenge. Through the controlled, circular motion of stationary cycling, the body is invited to participate in a form of self-care that is scientific, reflective, and profoundly human. Seated resistance exercises are often underestimated because they lack the dramatic flair of running, jumping, or heavy lifting. Yet their quiet power is profound, especially for regulating blood sugar without stressing the heart. When we sit and engage in controlled movements with light weights, resistance bands, or even our own body weight, the muscles are activated in a deliberate, mindful pattern that stimulates glucose uptake at a cellular level. Each contraction sends signals to the muscle fibers that encourage the translocation of glucose transporters to the cell surface, allowing sugar to enter the muscle and be converted into energy. Unlike high-intensity workouts that create sharp peaks in heart rate and metabolic demand, seated resistance engages the muscles in a steady, rhythmic way, encouraging metabolic balance while maintaining cardiovascular calm. It is an exercise of precision, subtlety, and efficiency, demonstrating that profound physiological changes do not require dramatic effort, but rather thoughtful, consistent engagement with the body's natural mechanisms. Seated exercises also offer a unique advantage in the recruitment of stabilizing muscles. While it may appear that only the arms, legs, or core are working, even the act of sitting upright with proper posture requires subtle activation of postural muscles. These small yet significant movements enhance neuromuscular coordination, improve balance, and engage the nervous system in continuous feedback loops that regulate movement and energy expenditure. Each contraction, each controlled release, becomes a conversation between muscle, nerve, and endocrine signaling, allowing insulin to operate more effectively and glucose to move efficiently from blood to tissue. Over time, this repeated stimulation enhances both muscle tone and metabolic efficiency, creating a foundation for better blood sugar regulation without imposing strain on the heart or joints. The adaptability of seated resistance exercises is particularly noteworthy. They can be modified to accommodate a wide range of physical abilities, from gentle, low-resistance movements for beginners to slightly higher resistance for those with greater strength or experience. Exercises can target the arms, legs, or core, or involve multiple muscle groups simultaneously, all while allowing the practitioner to remain seated and stable. This accessibility makes them ideal for seniors, individuals recovering from injury, or anyone for whom high-impact exercise may be unsafe. Even brief sessions of 5 to 10 minutes, repeated consistently, provide meaningful metabolic benefits, reducing post-meal glucose spikes and supporting steady blood sugar levels throughout the day. The ability to tailor the intensity, duration, and frequency ensures that the exercise remains both safe and effective, highlighting how thoughtful design in movement can respect the body's limits while maximizing benefit. Another layer of benefit lies in the relationship between resistance exercise and cardiovascular health. While seated resistance does not dramatically elevate heart rate, it does encourage improved circulation as blood flows to active muscles. This enhanced perfusion not only delivers oxygen and nutrients more efficiently, but also promotes vascular responsiveness, supporting nitric oxide production and endothelial function. The heart is engaged not through stress or strain, but through the gentle demand of supplying active tissues, which reinforces cardiovascular resilience without triggering hypertensive episodes or overexertion. This balance between muscular stimulation and cardiac safety is particularly important for individuals managing diabetes, many of whom also face cardiovascular risks. The exercise supports the integrated health of both metabolic and cardiovascular systems, demonstrating the elegance of moderate, thoughtful movement. Seated resistance exercises also exert profound influence on hormonal regulation. As muscles contract against resistance, they release myokines, signaling molecules that communicate with other tissues and organs, including the liver and pancreas. Myokines play a role in regulating glucose metabolism, reducing inflammation, and improving insulin sensitivity, acting as messengers that coordinate systemic responses to physical activity. Simultaneously, the gentle nature of the exercise minimizes the release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which can otherwise interfere with insulin function. This dual effect, enhancing beneficial hormonal signals while suppressing potentially harmful ones, underscores how seated resistance exercises act as a sophisticated tool for metabolic regulation, achieving results that are both subtle and powerful. Psychological engagement during seated resistance is equally important. The slow, deliberate nature of the movements encourages mindfulness and awareness of the body's posture, tension, and breathing. This conscious attention reduces mental stress and encourages a state of calm that further supports metabolic balance. Stress has a profound impact on blood sugar, and by integrating a gentle, mindful practice into daily routines, individuals reinforce both physiological and psychological pathways to glucose regulation. This combination of muscle engagement, hormonal signaling, cardiovascular support, and mental focus illustrates how even modest, controlled movement can initiate systemic changes that ripple across multiple levels of bodily function. Finally, the cumulative impact of seated resistance exercises is profound. Over days and weeks, the repeated activation of muscles enhances glucose absorption, improves muscular endurance, supports cardiovascular efficiency, and fosters hormonal balance. It demonstrates that exercise does not need to be extreme to be transformative. Thoughtful, moderate, and consistent effort allows the body to adapt, respond, and regulate itself with remarkable efficiency. In this quiet, controlled practice, every lift, pull, or push contributes to a larger pattern of health, illustrating how deliberate movement can strengthen the body, support blood sugar regulation, and honor the interconnectedness of muscles, nerves, hormones, and heart in a way that is sustainable, safe, and deeply human. Water-based exercises possess a unique elegance, a harmony of resistance and buoyancy that allows the body to move freely while minimizing strain on the heart and joints. When immersed in water, the body experiences a natural reduction in weight, relieving stress on bones and connective tissue, while still requiring the muscles to work against gentle resistance. Every movement, whether a slow kick, a push against the water, or a circular motion of the arms, engages multiple muscle groups simultaneously, promoting glucose uptake in a smooth and controlled fashion. Unlike land-based exercise that may rely on gravity to challenge the body, water provides consistent resistance in all directions, stimulating muscle fibers in a balanced, low-impact manner that encourages metabolic efficiency without cardiovascular overload. It is a reminder that the medium in which we move can profoundly influence the effects of exercise, and that even subtle, fluid motions can generate meaningful biological responses. The beauty of water-based exercise lies not only in its physical benefits, but in the way it orchestrates the body's internal systems. As muscles contract against water, the heart is gently challenged to increase cardiac output to meet the demands of active tissue, but without the sudden spikes in pressure seen in high-intensity training. This steady, rhythmic engagement enhances circulation, supporting oxygen and nutrient delivery to muscles and organs, while simultaneously facilitating the removal of metabolic waste. The combination of resistance and buoyancy creates a metabolic dialogue. Muscles signal their need for energy. Insulin responds by facilitating glucose uptake, and the cardiovascular system adapts to the gentle but consistent workload. Over time, this repeated engagement strengthens the muscle's efficiency at handling glucose, reducing spikes in blood sugar in a manner that feels effortless but is profoundly effective. Water-based movement also has a remarkable impact on the nervous system. The constant sensory feedback from water pressure and flow stimulates proprioception, balance, and coordination. Each motion requires subtle adjustments, which engage the brain and spinal cord in continuous communication with muscles and joints. This neural involvement supports metabolic function indirectly, as the nervous system coordinates energy use and hormonal signaling throughout the body. Moreover, the soothing effect of water immersion reduces stress and encourages parasympathetic dominance, which is associated with lower levels of cortisol and other stress hormones that can impair insulin function. The result is a dual effect. The muscles work efficiently to regulate glucose, and the endocrine system operates in an environment conducive to balance and stability. Another significant advantage of water-based exercise is its adaptability. It can be performed at various intensities, from gentle, flowing movements that emphasize mobility and range of motion, to moderate, paced aqua aerobics that elevate heart rate, slightly while remaining safe for the cardiovascular system. This flexibility makes it suitable for individuals across a spectrum of health conditions, including seniors, those with arthritis, or people managing heart disease alongside diabetes. Even brief sessions of water-based activity after meals can blunt postprandial glucose spikes, providing an accessible and sustainable way to manage blood sugar. Because the water supports the body while providing gentle resistance, participants can engage muscles fully without fear of overexertion, demonstrating that effective exercise does not always require extremes or high-impact strain. Beyond the physiological mechanics, water-based exercise also offers a psychological and sensory component that enhances adherence and enjoyment. The tactile sensation of water, the buoyancy that allows freedom of movement, and the rhythmic sound of splashing combine to create an immersive experience that encourages presence and mindfulness. As participants focus on movement and breath, the mind engages in a form of meditative concentration, reducing mental stress and supporting hormonal environments favorable for insulin sensitivity. This integration of body, mind, and environment illustrates how exercise can simultaneously target muscular activity, metabolic function, cardiovascular health, and psychological well-being. The fluid, flowing nature of water teaches the body to move efficiently, engaging multiple systems in concert without creating excess strain, which is particularly valuable for individuals seeking to manage blood sugar while preserving heart health. The metabolic impact of water-based exercise extends deeper than muscles alone. The hydrostatic pressure of water around the body promotes venous return, enhancing circulation from the extremities back to the heart. This improved blood flow ensures that glucose delivered to the muscles is efficiently absorbed and that insulin signaling is more effective. In addition, water temperature can influence metabolic processes subtly. Cooler water encourages energy expenditure to maintain core temperature, while warmer water promotes relaxation and vasodilation, supporting circulation and nutrient delivery. This combination of environmental factors and physical movement creates a holistic stimulus for glucose regulation that is both gentle and effective, demonstrating how thoughtful engagement with the environment can amplify the benefits of exercise. Water-based exercise also highlights the principle that movement does not need to be forceful to be transformative. Each stroke, kick, and push challenges the muscles and the cardiovascular system just enough to improve metabolic function, while remaining within a safe range for the heart. The repetitive, flowing motions encourage the body to optimize glucose uptake, enhance insulin sensitivity, and improve muscular endurance, all while providing a sense of effortlessness and ease. In this way, water becomes more than a medium. It is a partner in movement, offering resistance, support, and feedback that together create a perfect environment for sustainable blood sugar regulation and cardiovascular safety. Through consistent practice, water-based exercises cultivate resilience and adaptability in the body. Muscles learn to respond efficiently to resistance. The cardiovascular system becomes more adept at supporting sustained activity. The nervous system coordinates motion with balance and proprioception, and hormonal signaling shifts toward equilibrium. It is a practice that respects the body's intelligence, allows for gentle progression, and demonstrates that profound physiological and metabolic benefits can be achieved through movements that feel graceful, calming, and restorative. Mindful stretching and yoga-based flow offer a form of exercise that transcends mere physical movement, inviting the body and mind into a rhythm that is both gentle and profoundly effective in regulating blood sugar. Unlike intense cardiovascular workouts or heavy resistance training, these practices emphasize controlled motion, focused breathing, and deliberate attention to posture and alignment. Each stretch, each pose, is an opportunity for the muscles to lengthen, contract, and release in a sequence that encourages glucose uptake while simultaneously calming the nervous system. When performed with awareness, even subtle movements engage slow, twitch muscle fibers, which are highly responsive to insulin signaling and efficient in utilizing glucose for energy. This is a practice of precision, where the slow unfolding of the body mirrors the intricate biochemical processes occurring within, and where mindful attention amplifies the benefits of seemingly simple actions. The integration of breath with movement in yoga-based flow has profound physiological implications. Deep, controlled inhalation and exhalation stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, recovery, and balance within the body. This calming influence reduces the release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which, when chronically elevated, interfere with insulin sensitivity and contribute to elevated blood sugar. By synchronizing breath with motion, the body learns to regulate its internal environment more effectively, creating conditions in which glucose metabolism can proceed smoothly. The rhythmic pattern of inhalation and exhalation also promotes circulation, encouraging nutrient delivery and waste removal at the cellular level, further supporting the body's ability to manage blood sugar without overexerting the heart. Mindful stretching also enhances muscular engagement in ways that are subtle yet significant. Each pose or movement recruits multiple muscle groups simultaneously, requiring coordination, stability, and control. Even static stretches trigger micro-contractions that stimulate glucose uptake, while dynamic flows increase muscular endurance and flexibility. The combination of strength and length in the muscles improves their efficiency at processing glucose and enhances overall insulin sensitivity. Unlike rapid, high-intensity movements, which can trigger spikes in heart rate and blood pressure, mindful stretches progress gradually, respecting the body's natural limits while encouraging metabolic efficiency. The result is a practice that fosters both physical resilience and internal balance, demonstrating that gentle, intentional movement can have transformative effects on glucose regulation. The nervous system benefits profoundly from yoga-based flow and mindful stretching. Each movement, guided by breath and awareness, provides continuous feedback to the brain and spinal cord, enhancing proprioception, coordination, and balance. This neural engagement supports metabolic function indirectly by optimizing the body's ability to recruit muscles efficiently and to regulate energy expenditure. Moreover, the meditative aspect of these practices reduces mental stress and promotes emotional equilibrium, which in turn influences hormonal signaling, insulin sensitivity, and glucose metabolism. Stress reduction becomes an integral component of the exercise itself, demonstrating how mind and body operate in a synergistic loop to maintain metabolic health. Another essential dimension of mindful stretching is its accessibility and adaptability. Movements can be modified to suit individual needs, whether someone is beginning with gentle seated stretches, using props for support, or engaging in more fluid, flowing sequences that incorporate balance and strength. This flexibility ensures that participants of all ages, fitness levels, and health conditions can benefit from the practice, making it particularly valuable for seniors or those managing heart disease alongside diabetes. Even short, consistent sessions can have meaningful effects on post-meal glucose levels and long-term insulin sensitivity, illustrating that the quality of movement and attention often outweighs the quantity or intensity of exercise in achieving metabolic balance. The psychological benefits of mindful stretching also play a vital role in its effectiveness. Engaging in these practices encourages presence awareness and a deep connection to the body's signals. Paying attention to tension, alignment, and breathing cultivates mindfulness, which has been shown to reduce emotional stress, improve sleep quality, and support healthier lifestyle choices, all of which contribute indirectly to better blood sugar management. The combination of physical engagement and cognitive focus creates a comprehensive form of exercise that targets both physiological and psychological contributors to metabolic health, offering a holistic approach that is rarely achieved through conventional workouts alone. Finally, the cumulative effect of regular mindful stretching and yoga-based flow is profound. Over time, the gentle activation of muscles, the stimulation of insulin-sensitive fibers, the reduction of stress hormones, and the improvement in circulation collectively enhance the body's ability to regulate glucose. The heart is supported rather than strained. The nervous system is calmed and coordinated, and the mind is engaged in a process of attentive care. Each movement, each inhale and exhale, contributes to a rhythm of balance and resilience that extends beyond the mat into daily life. This practice exemplifies the principle that movement does not need to be extreme to be effective. It demonstrates that thoughtful, consistent engagement with the body can optimize metabolism, support cardiovascular safety, and cultivate a state of internal harmony that benefits both physical health and emotional well-being.